present. The first one being relationship to the municipal judge. I want to make a motion to grant her the additional 0.68 FTE that she has requested. This can be accomplished through the methods that she outlined in the emails that were sent to this committee. Honestly, this should never have gotten to this point in time. Her request during the last budget cycle should have been approved. We should have never merged or commingled different branches of our government. This is an important department, and she should actually have her ability to hire and fire people that she needs in her department, and they should have their own special separate office space in which to be able to do their work.
Okay,
we're
so
looking at,
I've been taking notes. I just want to be clear. Are you pivoting to another item?
We're just
Okay,
stating the fact that the additional 0.68 is costing about $38,000, which in relationship to a $76 million budget is just minuscule. I know that, I believe last year during the budget process, Mr. Genie actually said that if we needed the additional 0.68 that we could find it. And I believe that she has outlined a way to do that, and I believe that we should give her the allowed 0.68.
Okay. So as I have it written, and I'm paraphrasing you, your
Excuse me, Chair, there's someone that says someone is talking.
I just muted them.
Okay, cool. Sorry to interrupt you.
Can I continue?
Yes.
All right. So as I have it, I'm paraphrasing you. You're talking about increasing for the municipal court 0.6 FTE paid for with methods stated in the municipal judge's memo, and then you have something about a separate office space.
Well, right now, I believe her staff is working in relationship to the clerk's
Is that part
office.
of your motion or not?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Did you want to expound on anything so that did I not?
I think she's outlined it
contextualize it
clearly
properly?
before as far as that's concerned. I would, encourage
Okay.
her,
Is there a
to allow us
second
to
for
allow.
the motion? Alder Phillips is second, so let's just be clear on, and
Yep.
I want to get this right. So forgive me if I'm being a stickler on this,
No
I just
problems.
want to get it absolutely
Okay.
spot on. Okay, so we have a motion by Alder McClure with Alder Phillips seconding it. For what?
Clarification, is it 0.68, 0.60? Because the dollar amount
He said
that I gave-
0.6.
He said 0.6, okay. I thought I heard
0.6, sorry,
0.6.
0.6, okay, sorry.
Okay, I heard 0.6 and I wrote 0.6. All right, we have a motion. Are there any questions or comments on this, Alder Harney?
So where is the money coming from specifically?
I believe she sent an email to all of us outlining a ways.
No, but is there a concise statement about where the money is coming from?
Since we've invoked the judge,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the judge to make a short comment on the memo. I believe you had illustrated taking small amounts from different departments. Do you want to expound briefly on that?
I'll be very brief. Yeah, I did get a copy of the line item from John, and I went through to look for areas where there was an increase that in previous years hadn't been used the full amount, so that it could be trying to not take very much from any one department at all. And so I tried to note it in the memo, so I think that I didn't actually add up all the things, I was just going through it, so the memo might be actually more than the dollar amount, but I didn't want it to be that I'm targeting one department or another department. It was just, those were as I was going through it, areas that looks like either funds haven't been fully used or essentially that's what I was looking for, so.
Is that what you agreed?
So I apologize, so I didn't get it right to 38,000, so just.
All right, so just so we're clear, thank you, Judge. Alder McClure has verified what you stated is what he was referring to as the source of the revenues, correct?
Correct.
All right, John, did you want to speak to that?
There's some items on the list that we have contractual obligations for. And a significant amount of the items are reducing professional development. Professional development since COVID has been lower, but we do anticipate those professional development costs to increase over time to the amount that's budgeted. So I think those are the only two comments I would make on the funding ideas proposed.
Okay, so let me ask you this, John. I didn't add up the dollars, as the judge said. Would there be a potential that we would have enough dollars there with what she has illustrated for the 0.6?
I mean, just eyeballing it, if we take out the ones that we're contractually required for, I believe there are. But again, the majority of the reductions are coming from professional development, which is staff training.
Okay, so, all right. Did you have anything else on that, Alder McClure?
I mean, I believe, in what she had stated as far as if it's an appropriate way to handle it. If we feel that it's not, I think it's incumbent upon us to try and figure a way to, again, we're looking at $38,000 in a $76 million budget. There's gotta be leverage room somewhere in order to accommodate such a small amount.
All right, so we have a motion that Alder McClure has put forward, the 0.6 FTE for the municipal court, paid for with methods or the funds illustrated in the municipal judge's memo, which we have some concurrence from the city finance director. It's a reduction in staff training. It encompasses a number of departments. I don't have them all up in front of me. I'm sorry I wasn't able to negotiate to get to the memo in my email. I apologize for that. But the memo did detail specific departments, as the city, the municipal judge stated. John has concurred that, taking into account contractual obligations, there probably is enough to come up with the 38, correct? All right, and then the motion also included a separate office for,
I believe there was a movement from one office out to a different area that she should go back to whatever was originally.
I'm just bringing it up because you
Yeah.
brought it up.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, that's included in the motion?
correct.
Okay, so move back to a separate office for the municipal admin for municipal court. All right. We have a motion by McClure and a second by Phillips. Does any other member of the committee have a question or comment on this? Jim?
I think it is a dangerous and long-term, extraordinarily problematic proposition to essentially steal from professional development, which for all of our employees is to assure that they maintain the credentialing or certifications that are necessary, and to assure that each is able to do their job to the utmost standards of quality and competence that we would anticipate in the city. I think that's a extremely problematic place to randomly take money from.
All right. Mayor?
Yes, first of all, the room assignment question is not a budget issue. I think it's improper to bring it up during the budget discussions. Beyond that, it's taking away prerogatives of the city administrator, who runs the city on a day-to-day basis. It's the chief operating officer. That's a longer discussion. We haven't had the discussion about why the city administrator took that action. I think it's highly inappropriate and premature. And I think that should be struck from that motion. Beyond that, when we talked a few weeks ago about the judge's budget, we talked about the fact that last year, when the judge asked for 2.0 FTE, we said it was 1.6 before. We'll give you 1.6. Let's try it out. And the HR director and the deputy city administrator worked diligently to try to work with the judge and got very little cooperation in terms of allocating people to help out. We assigned an assistant city clerk who hasn't been fully utilized, even though he's set aside time and repeatedly asked for work. And has he been trained at all yet? Finally? Okay, he's finally been trained after diligent efforts to try to get him trained. And the city administrator and deputy city administrator offered the judge another 0.3 FTE, and it was never good enough. So the court has operated with a 1.25 FTE over the last year. We haven't proven the need for 2.0. We have not proven the need for 2.0. What we've gotten is a lack of cooperation. If in the coming year, the 1.6 proves insufficient, we'll find a way to make sure it goes up to whatever it's needed. 2.0, 2.5, 1.8. But the court operated on 1.25 this year, and we're rewarding a lack of cooperation with 2.0. That is another dangerous precedent. That we hear emotional arguments about separation of the branches and all the rest of it, but at base, what we're talking about is the court operated on 1.25 this year. It needs to prove that it needs 2.0 before we go to 2.0. Professional development is extremely important. There's a reason why it's in the budget. Every employee needs professional development. This is robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Paul doesn't need the money. I urge you to defeat the amendment.
All right, Alder Dolan.
So I guess I would be remiss if I sat here as the Alder liaison for the Sustainability Committee and I did not speak up on behalf of the committee that I represent. I tried and I failed, and I'm humbly admitting that I failed to convince the committee and the council to garner a vote to have a sustainability manager for the city of Wauwatosa. It infuriates me that I'm sitting here hearing this same conversation again, and I wholeheartedly agree with the city administrator, Mr. Archambault, and also Mayor McBride. I think that regardless of who's asking for the $38,000, we have other things that need to be funded. I can only speak from I guess you could say, myself. I'm not speaking for anyone else sitting at this table. But I will just say in summation, as Alder liaison for the Sustainability Committee, I feel like it's, dare I say, injustice to all of the other departments in the city of Wauwatosa. But I can't speak on behalf of all those other departments. I can speak on behalf of the committee that I represent, which is the Sustainability Committee. I would love a sustainability manager for the city of Wauwatosa. But the reality is that I'm not going to get that again for the third year. So I honestly cannot support what is before me at this current moment.
All right, I want to go back to Alder Morgan.
It's up to you, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you comment first, and I'm gonna go and ask Alder McCloof a question on the amendment. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just make a brief comment on this one. As I mentioned earlier, when I was researching information for the amendment that we just discussed for a pretty long time in pretty good detail and approved unanimously, I got statistics from the municipal court that are in the public memo. I'm not going to read them here. It gave me an impression that of the importance, and I think I stated this last meeting, the importance of the municipal court, and again related to, as Alder McCloof has stated, I really think we're kind of nitpicking here. So I feel we should support this amendment given the importance of municipal court as it relates to what our residents have asked for, which is increased enforcement, increased citations, and enforcement of those violations. So I'd urge you to support it. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go to Alder McCloof. Given the comments from our city administration and the mayor, would you like to remove your request for the separate office for the municipal court from the motion?
that would be fine.
Okay, that is being struck. All right. So we're just discussing the financing end of the .6 FTE, like I've verbalized now a couple times. All right, is everyone clear on the motion? Because the committee is going to take a vote on this, or does anybody else have a
Another
question?
hand.
Oh, this is before the committee now, but go ahead, Alder.
Public comment.
Okay, thank you. So, I fully support providing funding for a municipal court. I think that there's still plenty left, from my understanding of the initial proposal, left for successful development funds for our city staff. I don't personally view it, just for the public record, as stealing from staff. I believe that this is part of the budgeting process and we have to make hard decisions. Also, just a point of clarification from something that was said here tonight. Separations of power is fundamental to our democracy. And I don't view it as an emotional thing. I mean, we all learned it in elementary school. And so I think mixing judicial and executive is problematic. Something else that I'm just trying to understand as just sitting here outside of the committee is, we keep hearing the executive has power and then the legislative has power. It seems like we just keep flip-flopping for whatever the conversation or whatever is politically expedient at the time. There is equal power between branches, or at least we hope. And so I would hope that we give due deference to the judicial branch. And, again, like I said earlier, where it's like I go to my constituents and we take the wheel tax, and I say that was done through the fee and you helped pay for that with your tax dollars. I am more than comfortable going to my constituents and saying, we did have to reduce development funds for our staff in order to make sure and ensure that we have a functional municipal court for years to come. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alder Phillips.
I just want to reiterate some comments. I'll support the amendment in the separation of our powers here is important. I think that's the heart of the issue. As we've elaborated on some of the situation over the last year, I think it fundamentally comes down to that and respecting the three branches of government. So.
All right. Any other questions or comments? I've stated the motion. We're clear on that. The proposer is nodding. We're going to take a vote on, again, the proposed amendment from Alder McCloof. We're all clear on what the motion is. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No.
No.
Okay, so let's do the opposed. It's the ayes first. So the ayes are Arnie.
Yes, aye.
Okay. Phillips. Morgan. And McCloof.
Correct.
Okay. I still can't spell your name right.
Okay.
And the four. And the against are
No.
Lewis, Moldenauer, Dolan, and Gustafson.
It's tied.
Okay, so that's a tie.
It passes.
Okay,
Passes.
So motion fails.
It does.
tie is a fail.
Tie fails. Okay. All right, so that motion failed. So, did you have anything else?